Hey, once again, I'm going to sound very quiet. It might be a little awkward. Hopefully, it's not too awkward, but it's pretty late in the night. I just got a response from YouTube, and I just wanted to update you guys with one final video because honestly, I want to get back into filmmaking related stuff and sharing more of that and put an end to this bad chapter. Not so much good news, but there is some information that I think will be helpful in this email from YouTube. It kind of confirms a little bit of what I suspected, and also it's just information in general that might be useful overall in terms of where YouTube as a platform is going and just the stuff that they really care about and the metrics that they're really paying attention to. And maybe this will help you as well. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at this email. Now, I'm just going to summarize the main points. And the main things that they care about, and as I said here, is to help viewers find the videos that they want to watch and maximize long-term viewer engagement and satisfaction. Now, there's a few ways that they do this, and there's some data that they take into account, and one of them is impressions. So how many times your thumbnails were shown to viewers on YouTube. And this first point is, again, something that I understand, but it's pretty hard for me to even get a chance at people seeing my thumbnails when only 0.2% of people are notified of my videos and are even shown a thumbnail to click on. So, that makes it definitely challenging to get views that way. But next one is impressions click-through rate, CTR. So how often viewers watched a video after seeing a thumbnail. And so this is once the thumbnail is shown, how many people are actually taking the action to click on it. So YouTube definitely takes that into account. And of course, if it is showing that to people and showing your videos and not enough people are clicking on it, it's an indicator that there isn't as much interest. And this is another point where my channel particularly, and a lot of other channels that are similar, such as educational channels, get impacted a lot. And I kind of take issue with this because not every educational video is going to apply to every person. Like, if I'm putting out something on After Effects and then something on lighting, and someone is interested maybe in motion graphics and they're not really filming as much, maybe they're not going to click on the lighting video, but they're going to click on the After Effects video. So it kind of locks you in a very specific type of content. And, I think it's just a very broad metric, and I don't think it's enough to really see if a video is good or bad. But like I said, if it doesn't really stick to what has worked, and if people aren't really particularly piqued in interest by that specific topic, that is actually taken as a negative thing by the algorithm, instead of just saying, okay, well, maybe this video this time around isn't for them. Next one might be. Actually, that next one will also be affected by this behavior. So again, CTR is something that I think oversimplifies behavior when it comes to viewers wanting to watch content that is mainly educational or niche, such as the stuff that I make and other creators that I've seen that have had similar problems. Now, the next one is the average view duration. So the estimated average minutes watched per view for the selected content, date range, region, and other filters. So essentially, this is how long are people sticking on your video? How long can you keep their interest? And again, this is hard to do with educational content because sometimes you get into some really dense jargon, into some really dense part of the videos that you can only make them so hyped up and flashy before it starts to get silly, especially with things like filmmaking, lighting terms, or even tutorials and After Effects. I understand that these are all metrics that there has to be some data that gives an informed decision to the algorithm to make sure that they're not boring people out of the platform. But again, to me, I don't know. I don't want to sound too negative or too pessimistic as I'm reading through these, because I totally get why these parameters exist and why there is a need for them. It just inevitably affects channels like myself in a negative way unless I'm doing vlogs and I'm being in your face and I'm just hyping things up and starting to be artificial in the way that I present information, when really I just want to share the information. And then finally, a really big one that has been talked about a ton in the algorithm changes, and that is watch time. So the amount of time that a viewer has watched a video. They're saying here that this gives you a sense of what content viewers actually watch as opposed to videos that they click on and then abandon. So then they follow up by saying that they've checked my, my channel for the past 28 days, and then they got a broader scope by checking the past 90 days. And they just essentially said that, yeah, your videos are dropping and your evergreen videos, the ones that have brought the most consistent views to your channel, have decreased. It's nice that they're laying it out in a way that I can have in text, and it's a clear breakdown. I mean, this email is pretty long. There's a lot of information here, and I really appreciate them putting all of this together all in one place. It is helpful for me to see, but there's no surprises here. It's kind of confirming, the situation and just the state of YouTube and how the algorithm behaves. And I do suspect that a lot of this is also for the current climate politically. There's a lot of just craziness going on in the world, and I think even the nature of the entertainment on YouTube is getting more clickbaity. It's getting bigger and bigger every time, and one example is Mr. Beast, and I love his videos. He's a genius at YouTube, but he literally embodies what the algorithm wants. That's how he had his success. And when I mentioned the political climate, right now you had the Capitol being stormed. There's like things going on in the world that it's just like, how do you top that? Everything is leaning more and more towards sensationalism, and unfortunately more educational and downbeat type of videos just get buried in the midst of all of that chaos and louder type of content. I appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate every comment I've been getting in these last few videos. The support really, really means a lot. Like I was having a hard time with this initially, and just seeing the overwhelming support, seeing the amount of people that were inspired or that use my videos to learn After Effects or to shoot their first short film, or all these comments that came in, and just, it was a reality check of just seeing the good that has come in all these years of doing YouTube, and all the many other years that will come, and all the potential good that can be made. So I'm excited about that. So there we go. Last update. I appreciate YouTube giving a response. I appreciate YouTube in general. Still in love with the platform. And I just wanted to give you a final update into this saga of what has been happening with my channel. It's definitely been a while that this has been happening, but the recent hit just made me want to say something about it. And I hope that this changes. I hope the algorithm can reflect every creator instead of, again, the loudest creators. But we'll see. We'll see where we go from here. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. My name is Chris Trini for Kriscoart, and I'll see you next time.